gentlemen, may I please have your attention? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now live with BB3 TV.
Hey guys, welcome back to my Off the Cuff with Dustin Heisey. Man, this is the first time I've been back in I don't even know how long. It's probably been close to a year, I think, at this point. So I haven't done a show in a long time, but I miss my show. I miss doing this, and I miss talking to interesting people. And we got an interesting guest here tonight, believe me. So do me a favor, man. Anybody who's watching this right now, chime in over here in the comments section. Let me know where you're watching from. That's how I like to do it. Tell me where you're at, and we'll get rocking and rolling in here. I'm not going to waste any time, guys. It's been a long time. I'm going to bring my buddy in here. This guy's Dom. He owns one of the owners of BB3 TV. You got that right. One of the owners of BB3 TV, and we're just going to get to it, man. We're just going to get kicking and talking. Hey, Dom, welcome, brother. How the hell are you, baby?
What's happening, partner? Yeah, that's a strong intro, man. You got.
Oh, is it
good, bro? You do good.
Oh, you like that?
I do. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, man. I really, hey, Brenda, I really miss this stuff, dude. You know, I miss getting out here and just talking with you guys. I mean, I miss the camaraderie. Tom Nally says, "Yeah, love you both, baby."
I see Patricia McDowell right there, man. I miss her for sure.
Hey,
yeah, Christ.
No, I haven't seen. It's good to see you, Patricia. It's been a while, man. She doesn't tune into the Civil War stuff, but
yeah, mom's there and everything. 2 books, yeah.
Check it out. So I appreciate you guys jumping in. But so tell me what's been going on with you, man. What's been happening inside of BB3, bro?
Right now, as you can see behind me, last night was Kashmir. So better known as Kashmir. He's going to do our first concert in BB3 TV. So we are actually going into variety entertainment, as we said. It takes a long process. Yeah, that's it right there. You see that, Tom? It's a long process of getting things done, actually getting people on the same page and shit like that. It's actually more of a pain in the ass. There is actually a parental advisor up there, so we're going to get into it. We talked about that, Dustin. As far as really getting a company together, BB3 is the starship, as you and I always spoke. You know what I mean? Like, you get in to go to the stars is what we want to do. So getting everybody rounded in that same subject is almost impossible. The people coming in and coming out is...
Dude, the problem is that people don't have your vision.
Sure.
That's the problem. They don't understand you. They don't know you. They don't know your vision, and they don't see where, like, you have this view, this view of BB3 TV in your mind and this picture of it. And look, that's like anything. Like, you visualize anything. And I talk about this with people sometimes. It's like when you want something, you've got to see it before it happens. Like, you've literally got to visualize that whole thing as a completed thing. And you have that vision for BB3 TV where some folks just don't, and it's just a place for them to chill. You know what I mean?
It's the pure manifestation, like you said. Like, you got to write it down. I mean, you got to sit with it in your dreams. You got to sit by yourself and kind of like understand where you want to be. As you and I spoke earlier in our back chats, people want to know how your day was and shit. And like, you don't really give a fuck to talk to them about how your day was, because your day is not sitting by a poolside with your main group being successful where you want to be. So BB3 is at the spot right now where, we don't want to be put down as far as like not making money and going on from there. We put more money into this company in order to be successful. You got to understand, you have to drown in order to float the battleship. You know what I mean? 2 years, 3 years, we've been working 15 years on our product, whatever it may be with other companies, different things like that. But if you get the rounded people, as we're trying to do, and I'm answering your question with where BB3 is going. So the learning process of failing many times and hearing a bunch of bullshit from people and trials and tribulations of shows and drama within people and horse shit within their groups, you got to literally just, as an owner, one of the two owners here, like, you got to almost take shit with a grain of salt sometimes and just go on with your dream. Like, everybody here in BB3, when you become a BB3 member, you have a job. You know what I mean? Even if you're not getting paid for it at the moment, the end result is you will succeed.
Well, it's consistency.
Consistency is the key.
That's what it comes down to. And like, that in terms of like my show, Off the Cuff, I haven't been consistent with my show because I've been focusing on Gettysburg, but I still use the platform. You guys
exactly
graciously by allowing me to do that, and I appreciate.
And that's great because you just take you, for example, as a host, right? You've been with us since day one. I mean, day one. You are grandfathered in with us. There is no turning back now. You understand what we do.
Stuck with me.
Yeah, and that's what we want. So you took off the cuff. You went through so many positions of, what the fuck this, what the fuck that, like, where do I need to go on my show? Politics, all this shit, like
all kinds of shit.
One day you can't do politics in BB3. The next time we're saying yes, you can. It's all this shit we're learning all together. And
it's finding your identity, man.
Sure. And then one day we just took a breath, all of us, and said, just do it. Who gives a shit? Variety entertainment, just do your thing. So, and then all of a sudden you said, I'm not doing politics.
It's muddy. Politics is muddy, dude. And look, I love talking about politics. I follow politics, but if in this country right now, in the day, like what we live in, if you're a Republican, you're ostracized. If you're a Democrat, you're put down by the other side. And it doesn't matter what you are. Like, you could be a moderate, but if you lean a little towards the right, then you're a piece of shit to some people.
It's a fucking place.
And right. Well, and people have just created their entire persona. They've kind of molded it around their political beliefs. And, like, what the fuck does that have anything to do with life in general? It has nothing to do with it. Turns you into a dickhead. I like talking about. I
would up there. You saw that? You saw his head go up and down like that when you said that. Turns you into a dickhead. He went like that.
Yeah. He's agreeing with me.
You'll see in a minute.
Absolutely,
Monica.
She said you have to hit rock bottom before you can stand up. Yeah, she's right.
I do want to say this. I do want to say what's up real quick. I not to get away from the conversation, but I haven't talked to her in a while. Carmen's right there, and I want to say what's up, Carmen. Hey, you mean a lot to us. You always support. So
absolutely. Hey, Brenda, she's got this, man. I love this. All right, failure is not in her vocabulary. It's not in ours either. Exactly. You and I are the same way, dude, when it comes down to it. And people that know me outside of this or whatever, they didn't know me before, but they know me now. And they know that I'm not a quitter. If you had any idea the shit that I had to go through just to put that massive event on in Gettysburg, it would blow your mind. I had every opportunity to walk away from that and quit, especially when they revoked our permit the first time around. A lot of people don't even know they did that. But the township, we filled out all the paperwork. We did everything that we were under the impression we needed to do. We submitted it. They accepted it. They gave us the permit, and then they revoked it. With only a little bit of time left. Tell me if that is not an open door to say, hey, you know what, man, fuck this. I'm done. I'm tired of it.
But what did you do? What did you do?
You put your head down. You grind harder. Failure is not an option, dude. And look, I wish more people kind of had that attitude in life in general. Because listen, you're where you are because of the choices that you made in life. I could have chose to quit, and there wouldn't have been a really freaking awesome Gettysburg Civil War reenactment that took place over there a couple of weeks ago. That it's a fact. If I would have threw in the towel and quit, that's what would have happened.
Also,
but people give up on their dreams, dude, just like this, too quick.
That's what's up. And if you didn't do that, I would never have learned about the PB&J, how you beat the PB&J. Whatever that was. But yeah, that was awesome. And that's from Monica. I appreciate that.
That's Monica. Yeah, she calls the other organization, the PB&J crew, basically a bunch of kids who are trying to put on a Civil War reenactment. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. And this is a different show and completely outside of my organization. Yeah. I'll conduct myself accordingly, but
we're just being real tonight.
Yeah. The honest to God truth is, they don't pay attention. They don't care about the details as much as we do at the PCWA. We love what we're doing. We respect what we're doing with the history and with what we are entrusted with.
Sure.
And that shows in the photographs. All you got to do is look at the photographs that people post, and they are worlds different. All you see in their photographs are grandstands. All you see in their photographs are, cars everywhere. And you know what? I got some jackass. This guy, his name's Edge. He's a piece of shit dickhead, and I don't even care. I can't stand this douche. He goes to bat for this shit organization.
I like the word touche. You said touche. You're so angry. You said touche.
I said douche. It just came out that way. But look, Carmen's like, drama equals hate.
And
she
also,
ain't lying.
You got to represent Ajing there. She's right there. So Ajing.
Ajing. Thanks for jumping in.
That's
there
a
he is. There
BB3 family right there.
Right there. There's some family right there. And look, the more you dig, and I love what she's saying here, the more you dig in, all right, the more you dig your feet into it. It doesn't matter what it is. Guys, it could be the dumbest thing. If you sit down, listen to me on this. People don't realize I do this. Hell, my own wife probably doesn't even realize I do this. When you sit down, all right, and you have a quiet moment to yourself, you've got to relax you got to relax your muscles. Sit in a chair, absolute quiet, put some binaural beats if you don't know what that is. Put yourself it's on your end, bro.
It's on my end. All right, my bad.
So put your binaural beats on and relax and get into your mind and start visualizing the end result of whatever it is that you want to accomplish. See it happening, see it done, and it will come to life. I mean, I know this is crazy. You're like, oh, he's talking about the law of attraction. Bro, no. It just is what it is, man. That's truth. It's reality. And
it's the truth.
Focus, right, dude. And if you focus on something hard enough, it doesn't matter what it is, whatever your passion is. If you want to be a top end fucking knitter, then be a top end knitter and sell your shit on Etsy, and then find somebody who can mass produce your designs. And next thing you know, you just created a store out of knitting placemats or whatever the hell people knit, man. I don't know, socks. But you can change your life by doing that. I'm just being honest.
It's so funny that you want to bring up the binaural beats too, because at night when I go to bed, I put on the Lucid Dream, which is binaural beats. I read that earlier, so that's on point, John. But the binaural beats, the first words in this thing, it says, "Look here, dear soul." You know what I mean? It says, "Now you will see your dreams." And I go to bed with this every night. I let the binaural beats hit, and you put yourself in that world of manifestation. You have to see it. Like, you have to walk those grounds of what you really want. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we've been walking it a long time and shit like that. But we've probably done a lot of shit wrong in order to get the process of where we want to be. Yeah, we're in our 30s and, age now.
You're in your 30s.
I am, but like, you understand.
I'm 44, bro.
I understood, shit. Let me fuck up my screen real quick. One of these things where it's like, yeah, I didn't get what I wanted in my 20s, but I did get what I wanted in my 20s. You know what I mean? I got to travel. I got to meet a shit ton of really cool people. I got to see a lot of places in the United States, other countries as well, too, that a lot of people probably will never get to see in their fucking life. So did I say I failed in my 20s? In my heart, maybe, that I didn't get Hollywood. Who gives a fuck now?
Oh, dude, whatever.
We are becoming Hollywood, right? Like, we got to travel and shit like that. And I got to meet great people. On this Facebook, I wouldn't give two shits about it if it wasn't for BB3 and the people I've met along the road. You know what I mean? And that's the point. And the people I met along the road are the people who are talented artists and shit, who I now reach back out to, who could possibly be a host on BB3 TV to bring out their nature. Somebody in fucking like a low grade town of, El Paso, Texas or somewhere, you know what I mean? Who said, hey, you know what? I could paint. I remember you. You get what I mean?
Absolutely. Dude, look, everyone's on their own path. Everyone's got their own journeys. And listen, if you don't fail, that means you're not trying. Like, you're going to, if adversity makes us better. I mean, listen, I was like sick to my stomach when we got that revocation letter. I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. We only had a couple of months to go. And when you just keep going and you don't quit, things will appear. When you have that vision and you hold on to it, things will appear to make it better. I got a call out of the nowhere, and somebody was like, you need to find this guy named Jim Fox. And then this guy, Jim Fox, saved our butts. And, without going into all the details, he did. He just came out of nowhere. And here, if it wasn't for what he did, we probably wouldn't have gotten our permit secured. But look, the point is, quit being like lazy. Quit, I'm not you. You ain't lazy.
It's in general. It's talking in general.
No, exactly. Laziness is going to get you nothing. If you don't change what you're doing right now, and if you expect something to happen tomorrow that's different and say, God, I'm tired of waking up here, you got to make the change. I don't care what it is, man. You got to step up and make that change. That's all there is to it.
And I guess you can't be comfortable. You can't get comfortable with shit. I mean, I guess you got to run to the dickheads that are going to put you down all the time. They're the ones that are going to keep you motivated. They're going to be the ones that are literally going to say to yourself, is this worth giving up all the work we put into? Are we going to let them win? You know what? It may take 2 or 3 days. You may get pissed off, may drink a lot of beer, may say fuck to a lot of people. But like at the end of the day, like you have to keep doing what you like. You know what I mean? Like we love what we do, right? We love writing poetry. We love going in front of this camera. We love these lights in front of us. We love this comment section. We love the structure of entertainment. So who the fuck are you or anybody to say we can't do it? Now, are we in the position where we can build? Technically, yes, we are at our foundation, right? We are still at the rocket ship as we talked, before we rise. It's getting everybody on the rocket ship, or the downside of things is social media. For me, TikTok is one of these things where I see a lot of fucking unfortunate people making it in the world. Now, does that make me a hater? Yes, abso-fucking-lutely.
Why? Don't be jealous.
Untalented bullshit that's making it out there when you actually have talent here, not just in BB3, but other networks as well. You know what I mean? Who are working hard a lot of years. What's up, Cody? What's up, man? That dude right there, if I could get him on one of the shows, he is one of the best chefs I've ever fucking met. Dude's a fucking cook, like straight up. And
is he a cook or a chef? There's a difference.
A chef. He's a chef. Straight the fuck up.
Dude, you know what? What you guys are talking about, TikTok caters to the young. Well, no, it's like I come across TikToks that are funny. I like some of the TikToks I come across. I really. Anyway, in studio problems.
Yeah. I get it.
I come across TikToks that I like, things I enjoy, things I think are funny and useful. But most of the time, what you see on TikTok anymore is you're being advertised to.
Sure.
Someone's trying to sell you their shit on TikTok. These social media platforms are literally just being used to harvest money.
Well, let me ask you a question about it too. All right, so you go on with this, right? You talk about TikTok, and I just talked about TikTok as well. How much time are we wasting fucking scrolling? Yo, you know that, Cody. Straight up, man. You jump on one of our shows one day. I'll represent you as a fucking chef you are. And you straight up, I got your back. But you go through fucking TikTok. How many hours are we scrolling through some bullshit with some motherfuckers who are making a lot of money, who we should be just focusing on our time, on building our shit better?
Well, that's exactly my point. If you spend all that time scrolling, you're not building your business. You're not,
right.
You're not. And listen, every single person that if you're not making it today, it's your own fault. Honestly, that's the honest to God truth. You got to make your own way. You cannot just count on your job. You've got to have multiple streams of income. Go start a Spotify store or Shopify. Start a Shopify store.
Even Amazon or Marketplace.
Etsy, eBay.
The girl I see, I mean, we're started like our own Amazon and shit store right now. Like, fuck, we ain't gonna make a lot of money right now, but I mean, it'll come together. The thing is, most advertisements, what you see, makes you feel like shit because it's like, are you still working 9 to 5? We're making $100,000 a year just by fucking doing bullshit. Like it makes you feel like the 9 to 5, what you're taught from grade school to fucking where we are now. Yes, you're going to get an education. You're going to get a job and you're going to have this family, a white fucking picket fence and a shit fucking house, but that's almost dead time now.
They're selling you pipe dreams, dude.
I get it, but
that's all they're doing, man.
Look where the money is now, though, right? Look where all the money's going.
But millionaires are being created every single day. And a lot of these are younger people. But that doesn't mean that us older, Gen X, I mean, I'm Gen X, you're a millennial.
But do
right?
they teach the 9 to 5 anymore in schools? I'm not there. Like everything is now social media, everything is marketing, everything is the coins, like the dollar
Like
bill.
crypto coin,
Yes,
cryptocurrency.
absolutely. Everything is taught there.
Hey, Facebook
Hey,
user.
Facebook user, what's up? But everything is kind of there. It's like, what don't we know?
Well, what we don't know is, this is my girl right here.
What's up? Is it
I,
Lisa or Lessa?
it's Lisa, and
Lisa, that's cool. I love it.
she flew in from Oregon to help us with the event.
Love it.
And I love that girl to death. We spent a lot of time with her. We got some extra time with her before she left. We toured Philly and did some cool stuff. We ate until we couldn't. Like we almost puked. Listen, by the way, speaking of which, all right, I want to have this conversation with you. Have you ever had an actual Philly cheesesteak from Pat's and Gino's? Pat, you've had a Gino's steak.
Yeah.
But you haven't had a Pat's.
Not
yet. You can't really tell the difference. You don't know the difference.
Not yet, but I did I get made fun of this all the time when I make because I see she said Gino's right there. I'm watching the comments. So Cheese Whiz is something I learned about Philly. Now there's the thumbs down, right? I only make it with Cheese Whiz now. The one in the can, I make my own shit at the house, and it's fucking bomb. So some people say provolone, Swiss. A lot of people say Swiss. You get it at stores with Swiss, but dude, Cheese Whiz.
No, so okay, look, I got Whiz when I went to Pat's. I got American when I went to Gino's. I ate 2 cheesesteaks. I ate one at Pat's and I walked across the street and ate another one. I mean, I was like, oh my God. You could have rolled me out.
What's it for you? Which one?
Definitely Gino's.
Okay.
Definitely Gino's. Dude, Pat's was good. It was good, but I don't know. It was missing something. And I think like the bread was a little too hard for me. Gino's it's just better. I don't know. The bread was better. And I don't feel like
Gino's sandwich. And let me see if I could remember the taste as you explain it. Because
I'm not doing that.
I bit into that son of a bitch. I had a white Top Gun shirt on. I was in the parking lot with Taryn and the girl.
Did you get squirted? You got squirted
right all over the shirt.
I bet.
Yeah, big yellow stain. And then actually, I left the shirt in Taryn's car. Taryn actually washed it and sent it to me in Florida, perfectly fucking clean.
Nice. When the hell did you go to Philly with Taryn?
For Gettysburg Bash last year, I flew in.
Oh, did she pick you up in Philly?
She picked me up, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we had a good time.
So have you? So then you've never been to the freaking market? What's that market called? Reading Market. I think it's called Reading Market.
No.
If you ever get a chance and your ass comes back to Philadelphia,
next year.
Listen to me. Hear me out. Go to the Reading Market. That place is packed with absolutely freaking delicious food.
Can I ask you a question?
I'm a fat guy, dude, and I just love to eat. And there's so much Italian food in there. Everything you could think of. Dutch, Pennsylvania Dutch, everything. It's incredible, man. Like we ate until we couldn't stand it.
Let me ask you a serious question real quick, all right? At the 24-minute marker or whatever it is. Hey, Dustin, next year, can you take me to the Reading Market when I come up to Philly for the Gettysburg Bash?
I got you.
All right,
dude,
cool.
I got you. We're live. We got you. This is going to go down in posterity. You're coming with me. We'll go there. But dude,
I was going to be there this year, but a lot of shit came into play. So, I mean, I don't even want to look at Facebook right now because I really want to be at the Bash. You know what I mean? I want to hang out with people and shit, but things with like my job, like we're not going to talk about that here and shit like that, and the cruises and shit I'm going on. I gotta kind of just balance what I do and
understood
what we're doing,
dude. Well, that's the thing too, man. For me, like I've drove to Gettysburg, every weekend for what seemed like an eternity, and I'm 50 minutes away. I could go to the Bash. Tomorrow I could do that, and I might even go do that just to support, man. Pam, and help them out over there. But I love the Bash and love what's going on, but it's not my circle. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not into paranormal, dude. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I'm more of a skeptic. I just don't think it's out there, dude. We had this conversation.
Well, let's do this. I know I said we were going to do this. All right,
let's do this.
Let's go.
Look, I don't care what experiences people have said they have had.
Mm-hmm.
My only genuine experience, Taryn, if she was listening to this, she would kill me because I've told her some things I didn't know.
Yeah.
But my experience that was really paranormal had to do with the Ouija board and what happened. And I'm not going to go into that long drawn out story, but some of the people that were on that board, it said that it was going to kill them. And there's two of them that are dead.
Yeah.
And there's another one that it did affect. And it just like, that's a legit thing. You screw around with shit like that, but when it comes to ghosts, I took a screenshot. I want to show it on here real quick.
Go ahead.
This is an interesting photograph. I took this screenshot from a video that somebody posted on the PCWA page. Now, where the hell are my photos?
So Monica says you have had a lot. Your brain just doesn't want to process what it saw. I understand that too.
This was taken at a campfire in the woods at my Gettysburg Civil War reenactment.
It's a little bit tough to see because I can't tell if I'm looking at an iceberg with a campfire too.
I would have to I could try to send it.
Okay. And then post it on
pull
here.
It up.
Yeah.
But if you don't mind me looking away when I do this, but
let's talk about the paranormal a little bit. Let's literally talk about it. So BB3 is a lot of paranormal shows. The way we talked the other day, and let's talk about the actual TV shows as well. Let's talk about the paranormal world.
Okay.
You want me to start?
Go for it.
Well, I am a paranormal investigator. I do believe in it. I do not believe in the horseshit that comes with it.
The drama?
The drama. It's all bullshit.
Dude, how cliquey are these people? That's one of the things I hate about going to the bash.
Well, that, and not to put it down and shit like that, but yeah, that's what Tom said as well too. It's like one of these things with all places. When it comes down to it, you could be so many paranormal investigators. There's probably thousands now. Like there's ABC paranormal, whatever the fuck. I'm making it up now. There's off the cuff fucking paranormal. There's fucking Dom is a fucking jerk off paranormal. Like, and nobody fucking has any real fucking evidence that proves fucking God. There's nothing that proves fucking ghosts. There's nothing. Everybody has the same shit, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what gets old. And to be a paranormal community to me is you should work together in trying to find the one thing that you guys want to find. And what is that? A fucking ghost.
That's what they're looking for.
Right.
But these people start making shit up. Like, what I got really tired of watching things like Ghost Hunters
you can't watch it no more because you get bored.
It's boring to me.
You see the blueprint, right?
In every single show.
Right. And it's the same fucking thing. The one guy has the same thing to say over and over again. All right. So where's the ghost here?
Well, look right in the middle of the screen, that green light.
The green light. Okay.
Okay.
That wasn't there?
Apparently it wasn't. Now, this is done in a video from a kid that, and here, I'll tell you what, I'll make this full screen. This was done, a kid made a video. He said that he thinks it could have been the light reflecting off of a tin cup that was by the fire.
I think that's too high to be a fucking tin cup.
That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
That is an interesting. What could that be? That could be any number of things, but isn't that a cool looking picture?
It is a cool looking picture. Now let's break this down as far as lighting goes. All right. So look at the side trees behind it. There is no glowing green to the left or to the right, right? It's just one picture going up. So there is no reflection coming to left or right or up from that. It kind of has a stopping point, right?
Yeah, it stops just kind of bluntly.
There is that little black mark in there. I'm not saying this is paranormal. Let's just try to debunk this. So this was done from a video camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are these? What are these
phone?
lights?
A cell phone.
So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights that are kind of like spotlights. Are these shining in the trees? Because if you look in the middle of the trees,
they're campfires.
Are they all campfires?
They're all campfires.
So why in the middle of the tree? So if you take the left and right far screen, it's very black, but in the middle to about 3 inches on each side, you have some light in the middle. are these spotlights coming in? Is that reflection coming up in the trees? Are these spotlights all coming together? That's making the middle light.
But would that make that light look like it was a straight stream coming right up? I mean, it looks like a beam of light, and
maybe on video with a screenshot.
I don't know. It could also just be
you got to realize that that's probably smoke in the middle as well, too, right? Coming up.
It's smoke. I mean, so again, but somebody would come on here. This is the point that I'm making with all this.
I get it.
Somebody would come in here and be like, "That is an absolute ghost. I captured it. There it is." And there's a million and one things that you could do right there to debunk that photograph. We were just doing it. Okay. Yeah. What about the light? What about the smoke? Could it have been a reflection on the camera lens? Could this is things you can't explain. So you got to stop being so quick to label shit.
Exactly. And I have really great evidence on my phone and shit from the investigations I have done. But here's why I don't put it out there. Because there's too many fucking people that are going to say, well, what if this? What is this? What is that? Who was there? All this type of shit. And I know who was there, but I can't prove it to you because in my investigation, I didn't fucking cover all my angles because I didn't give a shit at the time. You know, I know on my phone what I have with that growl. I know Carmen heard it. Other people heard it. I know what was in that house. You know what I mean?
Well, if you were in there with Monica, she probably farted.
It was not Monica. This wasn't. Look at that laugh. That's Monica in the background. That's one of my favorites. But no, I know what I have on there. So here's what the fucking problem comes. All these investigators who have the fucking, evidence that they want to push on screen. Oh, here's this, here's that. And the investigators who have something who don't want to get fucked with. Right?
Well, in this day and age, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You could have something, whatever. You could have something. She seems to think that I fart louder than she does.
You might.
That's just not true. We could put that to the test and I would lose.
That'd be a great show. The fart contest, husband and wife.
Not going there. I can barely stand to be within 20 feet of that woman when she's off gassing.
Really? So you have to put like a little barrier in between or a gas mask.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Like with anything, dude, the paranormal, the Civil War reenacting, it's so clicky. It's so people are so moody and
wow,
dude, you don't understand. Like you have to like. There's one side of the hobby. There's another side. They hate each other, and it's like, holy crap, if we could just kind of put away the pettiness. This is my argument the whole time. Put away the bullshit, put away the pettiness, and it would be a hell of a lot better. And we get through a lot more. We could accomplish a lot more. But people don't. It's all about me. I. Egos, man. That's what the problem is.
That's what puts a bad taste in my mouth about my own fucking network. You know what I mean? Like all the clickiness and shit. Like when I went to Gettysburg last year, like I went to recruit, and you can't have fucking people on here because everyone's gonna fight and shit. So I'm like, you know what? That's why I went to Variety too. It's like, fuck the paranormal. You know what? Like we have it on here for people to enjoy, but it made me want to do the least of bringing any more paranormal here, even though I love it so much.
Well, that was the entire network, dude.
I know at one point, and it was doing great. But like once I saw the fighting and all this type of other shit going on, nobody's getting along. This person did this. This person said this. This person said that. You know what? In the end result for me, nobody has any fucking evidence. Nobody. So when you have evidence, then we could talk. Other than that, you guys are fucking fighting for the same fucking thing to do the one thing. Now, if you all put your eyes together and stop making this like a Bloods and Crips fucking like ghost hunting war, just stop. What's the point?
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
And this doesn't it's from East Coast to West Coast. They all do the same shit. Think about it. They give 50 all the states of all the ghost hunting crews in all the little counties where a little Idaho little river jerk offs fucking hunting fucking the Wendigos up South River dickhead,
where do people come up with this shit?
I don't know.
Do people really believe that shit exists?
I mean,
like fuck, come on, like Sasquatch, really?
You know what? I believe in a lot of it. I do actually.
Come on, Sasquatch.
Maybe, but
dude, well, come on,
But listen, Dustin,
you just lost 10 points.
But maybe in a different time, not now. Think about the hieroglyphics and shit.
Oh wait, so
probably
are you talking about planes of existence?
It could be within that, but honestly, think about this. Maybe the Bigfoot existed in time with hieroglyphics, you know what I mean? Like, and doesn't exist no more, or maybe in different planes. I'm not sure, but you're not going to find Bigfoot walking around fucking LA anymore. You know what I mean? It's just
You're
not
not going to
happening.
find Bigfoot anywhere because Bigfoot doesn't fucking exist.
I don't think so anymore either. I
Well,
think in
dude, I
time,
mean, if it actually existed, where like that, you would see them. Somebody somewhere would
See
have gotten
Brenda.
more. That I'll put her up in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, Dom, give me a minute.
Yeah.
All right, if you would have seen, you would have gotten something.
Okay.
A skeleton, a foot, a bone from a foot, a bone from a leg, something would
I get it.
exist somewhere. It's people just finding ways to entertain themselves
But
with their boring lives.
I get it, but let me tell you something why it's a maybe for me, because there's a small country guy here. I see that with Brenda. There's a small country guy here, right? He's actually a bus driver for a lot of stars, and he's got enough. He's not rich, okay? He doesn't not even want it for the money, but he sat me down one day at a campfire and we talked about the shit we do with the paranormal and stuff like that. And I said, "Do you have any cool stories?" And he told me, like, one day he was on a bus and he goes, "There's this fucking thing somewhere along the Nevada highway that like almost rolled across the fucking highway and stood up like a 9-foot tall fucking creature and ran faster than he ever could." So was that a Bigfoot? Not sure. I don't know what the fuck it was. He saw it. There's no reason for him to lie to me. He's not senile, but this is something for bus driver fucking road trips that he's been on, and he's seen things all over the road. How do I explain that? I'm just hearing it from someone else. You know what I mean?
I don't know, dude. Because I think they're either smoking or drinking a little too much and they shouldn't be driving. I don't know.
But couldn't that go with every investigation too? Because when you see these parties, what they all go on, everybody's drinking and shit like that. Couldn't that be with everything?
I mean, sure. I just
don't
think that it is. There's people who spend thousands upon thousands of dollars,
and I think that's
and like millions. There's people who've spent because they actually believe in this. Like what's that one ranch out there? The what is this? Skinwalker Ranch. I mean, this whole thing. Where's the real evidence? Where is it?
There's fucking 3 or 4 seasons of it now, right? Of still nothing.
Zero.
And people are still watching. Bro,
but I will tell you, devil's advocate, and I totally believe that there's aliens. I think
my mom says she doesn't believe in aliens. I believe in there's aliens too. My uncle was just here too, and I'm not gonna say it on here what I know, but like I actually.
She doesn't believe in aliens. Okay,
and
well,
I do too.
Look. I mean, I think it's foolish to not even give any like precedence to that. Why are we so selfish in our own minds to think that we're the only life that could possibly exist in this massive, expansive universe?
Yeah.
Like it just now are aliens visiting us? I don't know. There's evidence out there that's like, man, I don't know. That's very questionable. But now look at this. A president of the United States created a space force. I don't care if you don't like Donald Trump. I don't give a shit what you think about the man. But he created Space Force, not because he's a blibbering idiot. He did it because there was a reason. He felt that there was a national threat and we needed to create a Space Force.
What just happened with this one in Vegas where it was on the news and a spacecraft landed in Vegas, right? Right in the fucking yard. They called the police. Everything was legit right down to the point.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It just happened last month.
I heard like the guy's video, like he I heard the phone call like this.
It was all real. So this is all coming to a head right now. I also know somebody that I'm not going to talk about on this show or nothing we could talk about in person who actually worked at Area 51, and it's been years, and we have talked about. They're programmed in the head to answer how to answer it, but you can ask them the questions and they'll answer you in a way that they answer you. I heard some shit within the last 2 weeks that restrained my mind to really, really believe anymore. Especially, listen, guys, I'm not going to give any stories out there, but I'm going to say this. the crazy part of me of hearing stories. Roswell was real.
Why I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I think the government literally they posted ads it was in the newspaper, and then oh my god, we have to print a retraction, and next thing you know there's newspapers out there saying, oh, it was a weather balloon, it was this and this. Now I do believe that something happened at Roswell. Is it extraterrestrial? I don't know. I wasn't there.
We could talk. We could talk after we get off the air here. We could talk.
We could talk on the air. Who the fuck cares? But the point is,
from what I know, it was definitely
okay. The point is, dude, is you could take anything. You could take extraterrestrials. You could take Yeti. You could take Sasquatch and paranormal, and you can put enough energy behind it to make it believable. Kind of like 9/11, like that was believable that, we were attacked by terrorists, but whatever.
You know what's crazy about 9/11 too is the research years later. The fact is, yeah, right. You're exactly right. There's so much involved in it that it
mass
just
hysteria.
It's fucking so much. And years later, you learn it just wasn't just the planes. It was so much more.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother show.
We can do whatever you want, but I'm
saying that's a whole, well, I mean, look, again, it's all perception. I can show you one thing in this hand and you can see it. It's clear as day. You can see this thing and hold you exactly the same thing in the other hand and tell you that it's different and describe it in a way that makes you believe it. And you're going to see what it is I described to you, and you're going to believe that. Just like, I'm not saying planes did not fly into these buildings. Maybe they did. I wasn't there, but what brought those buildings down was a lot more than those aircraft.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, planes definitely hit, but it was a lot more. From the mathematical part of it, and I suck at math, but I've talked to people about it, and it imploded from like the inside and not from up top. Like that's the thing. But that's a whole different show, as you said.
Draven, don't come in here doing that crazy.
Do you know wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. That's pretty funny, actually. There's this whole thing. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? Like, that's a whole fucking thing. Like, this whole fucking emergency thing. It's kind of cool.
The entire universe, okay, is an unsolved mystery. That's a fact. But what I can tell you, and it's like, what I can tell you is that the universe is a powerful thing. The universe is we're all part of the same thing. It's like religion, I this is how I sum up my entire religious belief. Okay. And people are going to think this is crazy because I got this from a freaking Hollywood movie, but what it says is really the truth about my belief in God. Okay. It says the kingdom of God is inside you and all around you, not in mansions of wood and stone. Okay. Split a piece of wood and I am there. Lift a stone and you'll find me. I think that's how it goes. That is God being everywhere. God is everywhere. You don't need an institution between you and whatever it is you believe. I don't care if it's not the God, and Jesus of the Bible, whoever it is that you believe in or don't believe in, that's on you. But my point is there's the institution, and this is bear with me. I'm working up to something here. The institution is what stands between you and the end result. The church stands between you and God. Okay, it's supposed to be there to kind of flux your transition into heaven or whatever it is you believe in, and then government is an institution that is supposed to be there for you, but they're not. The government is not for you. The government is for themselves. The government is period. They don't give a shit about you, the average citizen.
Right.
So
I also feel that way about the church too, man, to be honest with you, because like I feel like, even though I think we kind of come from aliens and shit, but I deal with a lot of religions. Yeah, I deal with a lot of religions and shit all the time with like my friends and shit. But I feel like you don't need that fucking church. You don't need that priest to tell you. I think if you sat down in your yard on your hands and knees, on your ass, Indian style, whatever, and just talked to yourself, found God there, you become your own temple of church. You don't need that fucking other person, my God, my clothes aren't right today, going into church and I'm going to be judged by a bunch of jerk offs in here. You know what I mean? Like, and then they're going to pass around a basket to fucking make me rich like the other person. Leave out the middle. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like God, if you want to find God, he's already within you, and you just need to sit with yourself and fucking listen to the universe. You don't need to listen to this fucking asshole preaching up in front of you saying, this is the book I'm going to read to you today. By the way, midway, here's your fucking basket that you could put $5 in, $10 in, but if you put $1 in, you're going to be judged. And by the way, fucking dress nicer next week. And here's a $12 spaghetti dinner. And I'm saying it's out of fucking knowledge here because I've seen it. Like, people who are hungry here, there's this fucking church guy around here who is a fucking nothing more than a drug addict who has $1 million church now and has a $12 spaghetti dinner every fucking Wednesday night for people to come here. Now, a spaghetti dinner is what? From Italy, right? It was a dish of the poor, right? So why are you having people come in who don't have any money, who need something to eat, and you want to have them spend $12 per person on a spaghetti meal that most people can make with a fucking can of 50-cent tomato sauce and shit noodles, right?
I mean, sure, but
crook.
People are lazy. People don't. That's why fast food restaurants are. That's why America is fat. Well, I can vouch for this, but I'm just saying, because we have been taught to take the easy road, man, path of least resistance. The point, and it's a lot easier to go. I get where you're going, but it's just a lot easier to be able to go somewhere and pay your $12 for a plate of spaghetti that's worth about $4.
But wouldn't you go to McDonald's for a couple dollar cheeseburgers instead of a church? You're going to church for help, right?
You're going to church. Okay. You're going to church for a couple of reasons. And that's a personal thing. It's for individual. Maybe you might need that. Okay. Listen, I'm all about fellowship. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm all about being with people, talking about God. That's what God wants. That's God's church. That is my Christian belief, that God's church is where 2 or more people gather in my name. Okay. I don't have to go to a building, but people do that because of the fellowship. I will say that. But the way the institution, and I think this is more Catholicism than it is like general Christianity or anything like that, like, or Judaism or whatever. I don't know a lot about Judaism, but I don't know. I am a Jew, actually. I'm like 36% European Jew, but that aside, it's just an institution, but they have very, very strict rules. You cannot take communion in the Catholic Church, if you don't go to church enough or something to that effect. Yeah. We left I was baptized Catholic, and we left the Catholic Church a long time ago.
Yeah, I was born Catholic. I actually find that I find the Catholic Church pretty beautiful as far as like the music and like the midnight mass. I actually really love it. The statues going into that church, the way they conduct their mass. I just don't like the fucking people. If they kept it the way it was originally supposed to be done, the Vatican style, I really think it's a beautiful
I don't
religion.
know. Look how many priests have gotten hemmed up for touching little boys.
The little fucking parted hair style joke, but I get it. But
no, it's not where I was going with that.
Well, I did. But there's many religions that are pretty beautiful, man. And you're not going to agree with a lot of it. And we don't have to talk about religions, but I mean, going right down and do it. But there's actually some shit religions too,
Well, I mean, there's shit anything.
Church donation is like a lit candle in a church donation is like $1. Okay, yeah.
To light a candle in a church donation is like $1. I'm not sure what she means by that, but
I think what you're saying, you got to pay $1 even to light a candle. And like,
oh. Well, I mean, again, the church is trying to raise money. They're trying to, they got to support the structure. They got to pay bills. They got electric bills to pay. They got water bills to pay, and blah 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 blah. They put their little programs together. These things cost money. I get it. Okay, but hold on a second. If they help people, they're doing a good thing. Okay, and some people just need help. It doesn't matter. You could be a drug addict. Okay, I have a child who had to reach out to get herself. She did it herself. Got herself involved in a program because she understood and recognized that she needed the help.
Yeah.
Okay. First step, doesn't matter where you go, is recognizing that you need the help.
Sure.
And she did that. But again, as an institution, the church is supposed to be there for you. But I've never seen a church personally reach out and say, hey, all this money that we've tithed, all this money that
Right.
we've taken in, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars to this homeless person and get this homeless person off the street for a day or two or something.
Exactly. Shouldn't that be where it's coming? So let me give you 2 examples of what I see here with these churches. So there's a Polish church here and there's another church here. The same church with this $12 spaghetti dinner. As soon as you walk into a church, right, there's this merchandise bar. We could buy necklaces with silver chains of God and his CDs because he's a singer and shit like that. I feel like that should be just, you should have that on a website. You should not have that walking in. You should not feel like you're walking to a church to be a store. Okay?
It's not a strip mall.
Exactly. So the other guy, who's this Polish Catholic church, his house is right behind it. Fucking really big house. Okay. So where's that money going? Also, on top of this, he won on America's Got Talent. He went on the show.
Nice.
Sure. Now you see what I'm getting at. He went on America's Got Talent to be a comedian. Got booed off the same fucking night to come back home to Florida to go back in his church to raise money. Do you remember when we walked out of the church during mass and never went back because the priest of the parish, they expected our to? Yes, absolutely. And that's why I never really went back to church. And mom's constantly into this God shit, and I'm constantly against it because of the fucking people turned me against it. Now, do I believe in God? I'm sure there's something there. You know what I mean? I was raised Jehovah's Witness, made my childhood difficult. It may be good for some, but it's not meant for me. Institutions may, yeah, absolutely. I could feel
yes. That. Yeah, see, that's absolutely how I feel. Like if you're limiting yourself, God is unlimited. That's the thing. That's the whole point. Right. God's love is unlimited. Again, whatever you call your God. Okay. All right. I believe in Christ and I believe in God, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity. That's limitless. Okay. And ultimately, what do all religions really boil down to? God is love. I think that really sums up the whole thing. God's relationship or your relationship and however you want it, your religion, it's between you and him. And it's between you and that person, whatever it is. With gender identity crisis going on in this country, God might be a woman for all I know.
There's actually a really funny sign outside this church. I forget what it said, but I read it yesterday. It was something like I don't want to even quote it, but it was something like God is against transgender. Come to us with something. Satan is for transgender. I don't know, but they have signs outside this little hick town. I got to ask you a question though, and I want to ask you something that I've dealt with for a while, especially coming from a southern state and shit like that.
I know you've been struggling with whether you want to become a woman or not, but we don't have to talk about that.
No. Yeah. Oh, stop. We're good.
Now's a good time. You're among friends.
This is talking about God itself. Okay, so different religions as far as different languages. So I have friends, not friends, but people I've met throughout the years, say bar hopping and whatever, of course, that would say, fuck a jah, fuck, all this, fuck Allah, like Allah ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Like all this type of shit. Allah is shit. And I asked them a simple question. I said, do you understand what you're saying? Do you understand what Allah is? Do you understand what Jah is? Do you understand what God is? And they had said, well, they gave me many different explanations of what it all is. And I said, in the universal aspect, you're pretty much saying, fuck God. You're just saying Allah means God in another language. Jah means God in another language. As of many languages, has a different meaning for God as far as how do you say it. You're technically saying fuck God all the way through, no matter what the religion is. You understand what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So in Japan, we had to give our once-used chopsticks to get washed by the nuns, and they would make a huge rice balls and a big bowl of soup to the homeless. We did that when our children were in kindergarten. I live in Japan. I am non-practicing Catholic because I have many spirits who are Buddhist, and I have to learn Buddhist prayers for this reason. And I still am Catholic no matter what.
Wow. So I love it.
That's awesome. And thanks for joining us from Japan. That's really awesome that you're here.
I love it. And I want to add a little story to that. So we talked about like how to give back. And Irene, that's one of the perfect stories. I believe it's India. Every day, the farmers get together. I believe it's India. and there's the non-bread. Everybody makes everybody gets together and everybody gets bread and rice at the end of the day. Poor or not, you come to this certain section of India and everybody eats. So nobody technically can go hungry. You know what I mean? Everybody's working together. We are losing that here. I mean, it's something where like we're gorging ourselves with this fast food. We're gorging ourselves with portions. Actually, I hate to say this. I just watched this movie with the girlfriend I see. And what the hell was the movie called? It was called the Platform, and it's a rational section of food going down. They're spitting on food and shit like that. If people rationalize what they do and don't gorge themselves, I believe that this world will not be a hungry world.
Okay, so
great.
I have a different perspective of this.
Sure, let's hit it.
Hold on a second.
Dustin.
All right. So
we are almost an hour in. We said our conversations go so smooth. Guys, hear me get a little secret. Dustin and I are thinking about doing a show together.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't mind it. I've got firsthand views as a former truck driver for Kreider Farms, where we hauled milk and eggs and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go to these warehouses. Dude, this would make you sick. Okay. I literally saw, this was up in New York, a dumpster, a 40-yard freaking dumpster. And all they were doing, dude, was throwing tons of food into this thing. We're talking racks of ribs, boxes of beef. I mean, I was sick to my stomach. And I'm thinking, these guys are so greedy. And you know what it is? And it's people. People have caused this. People have created this. People that go to McDonald's and get a hot cup of coffee and spill it on themselves and burn themselves after the cup says it's freaking hot. And they burn themselves. They sue, and then this is what you get. You get people that cannot give you this free food because you might get sick on something.
And you sue them.
And then they're going to get sued. But I've seen it. It is disgusting. We could feed. And the shit that restaurants throw away. Oh, my God. They throw away tons and tons of food. And you could be feeding. And we're talking about thousands of restaurants, dude. Millions of restaurants around the country that do this. And they could be selling that food or not giving that food away to people who are starving. Bro, tell me why they don't do that.
We're not going to get sued here. But, I mean, I've seen Sam's Club dumpsters at Walmart. Tim, that's okay. He's one of my he's a good friend of mine. He's awesome. He's got our back too. Dude, Walmart, Sam's Club, all this type of shit, all these big places just giving away shit, like just throwing it right in the dumpster. And that was the main fact. Like when I actually worked there, like back in the day, we'll talk about that tomorrow, Tim. I'll text you. But they threw it all away. They said they're afraid of getting sued and shit. You know, at some point, I think you just gotta fucking. You're wasting the animals. You're fucking. There's so much needed, so you got to figure out a program or some shit that these animals are coming to. All right, yeah. We'll talk tomorrow for sure. There's some kind of program that needs to happen within the government system where this food that's going to waste. It should go in like bins or something to feed the homeless and shit instead of right in the fucking trash to the fucking landfill. You know what I mean?
The stuff's not spoiled. It's not bad. You know, I mean, it's out of date or whatever. I don't care. I would rather give that to a dude who is starving. Now, look, I mean, I get it. You don't want to give a homeless guy who doesn't really have a way to cook like a rack of ribs, you know. So, but there's other stuff you can give people that just or give it to an organization. That's what you should do, like a food bank. Give it to the organization, and then that food bank can distribute the food out to so many people. And you know what else really ticks me off? Look, dude, as a veteran, okay, who served this country, I get really frustrated when I hear that there are homeless veterans out there.
Yeah.
These guys sacrificed so much to serve their country, and this government can't take care of that person. They can't help them. Now, that doesn't go for everybody. There are people on the street that just don't want the help.
Right.
All right. They just don't want it. That
Exactly.
exists. You have to acknowledge that.
Sure.
There are also people out there that pander and have their cups out, and they're shaking their money cups, and they have Mercedes-Benz parked around the corner because they make so much money doing it.
And
so
the ones looking for the lawsuit as well.
Yep. So the question is whose fault is it?
Whose fault is it? Yeah, but there's always an answer for something. Like you said, like you could give to like food banks and things like that. Rescues Day Old Food gets into it. Local food banks. Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
Sure, right there.
And there's a lot of prepared food from restaurants. It's a lot of prepared stuff that's already done. But there's also a lot of stuff like listen. We live in a time where the sanctity of marriage isn't what it used to be. All right. And there are people going out there carelessly throwing their seed around, knocking people up. And you got these single mothers out there, or even single dads. Okay. Single dads and mothers, and that are out there trying to raise their children on their own because they got some deadbeat that just won't do their part.
Right.
And they genuinely need help. That exists. But what bothers me the most is that it's easier to just say, well, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to have a lawsuit. Screw them. I don't care. And we're just going to discard everything like it doesn't matter. So,
yeah.
And it's at the cost of like billions of dollars. I don't know the figures. I could Google it.
That's the comment right there that I really, really love. That's what I was heartened to. And I mean, that's you're the truth right there.
Yep. Keep your zipper zipped.
It's just so crazy, man. Like the way I don't understand it. And I don't think I ever will. And I think it's always going to get worse. There's just two dudes in a room and a bunch of people in the comment section and a bunch of people who may say this later, who's not going to change the world because we know the right thing to do. Everybody knows the right thing to do. Everybody has the right thing to do in this situation where it's like, hey, let's all do the right thing. Nobody fucking does it except for the Irene and shit like that. We know what to do with the corporate. Give this food to, like you said, a food bank. Give it to the church that's giving out to people. Hey, it's a day before going old. What are you
for God's sake,
$21?
make them sign a freaking waiver if that's what you need to do. For God's sake, make them sign a waiver.
They sign everything else. Just sign a waiver. Hey, this is yours. Feed the people, right? If you want to make some money on it, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, do what you need to do to people. But literally fucking feed the people. Now, this country, like, to me, I love this country, but I love a lot of other countries too. And I see how a lot of other countries work. I see how colleges work. They want you to succeed. I see the way health insurance works.
Gonna get me started.
I know, but we're there. We're right there, right with the food. You can live. You're allowed to live. This country fucking literally wants you to fucking, it's almost, I'm going to say it right now. It's cheaper to die sometimes,
Well, listen, that's why the suicide rate is what it is. Because people have been pushed to look. Okay, the government. Okay, the government has stuck their nose in people's business far too much. Okay, like this new paying off college debt. These people knew what they were getting into when you could be struggling. You have a responsibility to pay off your debt. It's not my responsibility to pay your college bills. Sure. I didn't go to college. I didn't want to go to college. I am a tradesman. I'm good with my hands. I do what I do. I learned a skill and I applied that skill. These people go to college and pile on this debt, and then they expect me and you to take over that debt and pay those bills for them. That pisses me off because there are thousands and thousands of people who didn't get that benefit. They worked their asses off to pay off their college debt. They earned it. They actually put their college degrees to use. No, and now the government just hands you this way out. That frustrates the hell out of me. And I just completely derailed my entire thought process.
No, I get it. I did too, because we're on the same page. Is it's almost mind-boggling too. Like the trade system. We could go back to the 9 to 5 where they're like almost debunking it, but inside reality. A lot of these schools too, like if the hands-on hands training, it's like almost like you got to get a job to really kind of learn this shit. And they just take so much, like everybody just wants to go to school, right? This is my point of view. Everybody wants to go to school because that's what they tell you to do. Technically, I wasted a shit ton of money on fucking film school and everything changed. You know what my best bet was? To stay in Florida and stay on the job sites. Even though I was working with a dickhead company that was going nowhere, I was learning more actually working than being in the school itself. You know what I got from the school? A ton of friends and a ton of networking. That's all I got. For what?
Absolutely.
50 grand? Thank God the school went under, and then I didn't have to pay it all. Like it just went under. But like that's really what it came down to.
That people are just not using, they're just not using what it's. I go to college to socialize. I go to college to party,
right?
And all. And then you come out and you're like, gee, what am I going to do with my life? Oh, well, at least now I don't have to pay the college bills. I'm free to do whatever the hell I want.
Everybody else will pay it. Right.
And this government needs to stay the hell out of our lives, completely.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. You know that.
Well, no, I mean, look, it's like paying taxes. This is something I got into with a person on Facebook the other day. Joel's a great guy. He's a gentleman who lives in Hawaii. He has an opinion that differs from mine, and that's okay. Yeah. I just believe that taxation is theft. I think that, taking people's all but half, 49% in some cases of you take their money and before they even have a chance. And then you wonder, and listen, inflation, okay, pre-COVID, things were cheaper, things were affordable. Okay, COVID happens. Now all of a sudden that we have this strain on the supply chain. And then all of a sudden, now we're raising interest rates. Oh, wait a second. Now we're not raising minimum wage, and people are becoming homeless. People are starving. And that's where I was going with this entire thing when I lost my train of thought.
You're totally right.
This is where people need the food banks. This is why because the government has created a situation and they've created an atmosphere where they've eliminated the middle class entirely. The middle class does not exist anymore. Okay. It is lower class or the 1%. My kids are in high school and they work part-time. My boys work at a retirement home to make meals for the dying elderly. My daughters, and you did it right, Irene. Yeah, you did it right.
Brenda right here, man. Like my God.
Oh, you're not a downer. Not to be a downer, but I lost my daughter in November to mental illness. State would not let me help her. I'm raising 3 babies now. State-funded programs and rules, in my opinion, made things worse. And yes, our taxes pay for it. Okay. Again, taxes are not entirely bad, but taking 49% of people's income, you're shooting people in the foot. You're setting people up for failure right out of the gate. And that's the problem that I have with like taxes. And then look at the government people, these people who are in government who get away with anything, cocaine in the White House, whatever, but people get away with everything.
Remember they said, we can't find nothing. So it just went in the news.
Have fun,
the Situation Room. It was close to the Situation Room.
Oh, that's where it was?
I am somewhere in that fucking area where the crowd can't be.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, this is something that they just covered up. We had an 11-day investigation and we couldn't the White House, the most protected house in the entire country. We have no idea how this coke got in here.
And they couldn't find Tony Montana.
Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Okay, get out of here. Just like a plane flew into the Pentagon, the most heavily protected building in the entire world, the most video-covered building ever, and all we're going to do is release a blip of a white thing and then an explosion. Shut up. Why do people buy into this? This is what I don't understand. Why do people buy into this crap? Like, stop. God, use common sense. Common sense is not so common.
I want to say what up to Farmer right there. Farmer, I've been seeing what you've been doing, man. You've been catching some crazy shit, buddy.
Mm-hmm. You know what else bothers me, dude? I want to tell you that I want to get this off my chest.
Do it.
I had, you know what today was? Today was my daughter, Dakota. She went out today and I had to help her get her driver's permit. Congratulations to my kid. 16 years old. She just got her driver's permit today. But as per usual, we show up there early. We thought we had all the documentation we need. We roll in there. Didn't have to wait long because we waited outside before the line got to be 3 miles long.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I'm sorry, you don't have the proper documentation. So I was like, what? So long story short is we had to deal with all this, the government bureaucracy today and get all these stupid paperwork together. I got my real ID done and this and that. But in the process, I had to run back and forth from home to the office or to the driver's license center, back to a notary and blah, 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 all this stuff. And you know what I found out here in Pennsylvania? Maryland drivers suck in Pennsylvania. Maryland drivers, this is to any one of you who is a Maryland resident who drives in Pennsylvania, stay the fuck out of the left lane. Oh my God. Get out of the left lane. I have a song for
here
this.
in Florida. New Yorkers, I guess they just do it. New Yorkers stay in the left lane here and they fucking go slow as fuck because they got to turn left about 19 miles up the road.
Dude, why? Dude, it's I swear to God, it pisses me off so bad. And maybe it's because I'm so hyper focused on it now.
Yeah.
If you're a Maryland driver, you're in the left lane all the time. It's like a guarantee you're going to be in the left lane. And they don't know how to use turn signals. It's like in Maryland, they don't teach you that in Pennsylvania, Maryland drivers, the law is that you stay in the right lane and you're only in the left to pass. Now, I will say that I am a left lane driver. But I'm also 96 miles an hour in that left lane. So you're not catching up to me, or you're most likely not going to pass me. But if I see some dude going 120, I'm getting out of his way because I'm paying attention to everything that's going on around me. God.
I pay attention to the merges and shit here. Like, you have to look in your right for the merges coming in because, like, there's 2 lanes on the fucking highway here. So it's like if there's a merge coming in, go to your left for a moment, Let them come in instead of, like, stopping all traffic.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, too. Here's the thing about merge. People don't understand what merge means or yield. Let's talk about yield, what yield actually means. People think that they're so entitled that they have to come right in. I'm Mr. Me, and I merge onto this highway whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
and they do that. They just come right out there. Meanwhile, the dude that was going 65 in the right lane decides he's got to whoa.
That just like that. That was a yield, whatever that was.
No, that was my dumb kid coming in the room and knocking my lights over. Fix it, please. I have an on-air sign that literally blinks that I'm on the air. And she decides to just walk in here completely in a towel and knocks my entire light. Can you fix that? Or can't you reach it?
Perfect sign of the yield. Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Send me that on-air sign thing. I'm going to need that. I like that. We are at a hiatus right now for a moment.
No,
guys,
I'm still here. You can hear me. I
get it.
Fix this.
This is actually a pretty fun show, guys. Thank you for tuning in and stuff.
Oh, yeah. There we go. You guys got a nice shot of my midsection there. Did I handle that poorly?
Absolutely.
Hey, there's a reason that, there's an on-air sign. Don't come in. And then she comes in and
that should be the next dinner, family dinner. Kids, when on-air sign is, we're going to do this.
People here committing suicide after COVID, and it sucks. The government only care about themselves. We did not get help during COVID, and my son and husband worked, but the government doesn't give a rat's ass about them. I can't speak for the Japanese government, clearly, but I can't imagine it's too much different than the American government. Matter of fact, I think the shot was designed to kill people. I am a conspiracy theorist. I don't give a shit.
I would actually, I want to say something. I know this is your show and stuff like that, but Irene.
I don't care.
No, it's all good. Irene, this is an interesting subject. Would you be willing to come on an off the cuff show with myself and Dustin one day and talk about how you guys went through COVID in your country? That would be.
She types good English. Do you speak good English?
Just to actually, see from the. She goes, "Oh, I got news for you." So it's like it would be great to see from another set of eyes. So if she said, "Sure thing," okay. So let's just make this happen. I would love to hear your point of view from everything that happened from, day one through your eyes that we didn't see. That would be great, and this would
Well,
acknowledge to the world, through somebody else too, like just to see how everybody else felt, because we know how we went through it, but Irene would be somebody that we could actually learn from too. And
do you know how I got through COVID? Do you know how I
Huh?
got through COVID? Listen to me on this. All right. Do you know how I got through COVID?
no, I got it twice too.
I got COVID, but I didn't get I made it through the entire effing pandemic. Okay. I made it through the entire pandemic without getting sick one time. And I forget what it was. I had to go in for a procedure, and they're like, well, we have to COVID test you, sir. And they shoved that thing up my nose. And it wasn't until then I got COVID. That's when I got COVID, when they shoved that thing up my nose.
When they got, yeah, there you go. Patricia said that'd be a great show. So let's just make it happen, Dustin. That's our next one.
Well, I don't know if it's my next one, but
our next one.
You and I will talk.
Ours.
We'll get that situated.
Dustin is coming back off the cuff by himself. We got our own things, but yeah.
COVID for me, it was bad. I ended up in the hospital. I didn't think I was. Of course, I mean, at the moment, I felt like I was dying, but really, it wasn't that bad. But I never ever took the shot. And I really feel bad for people that took the shot, because people are dying.
I got 3 of them.
Shot. Oh, what a dumbass.
I got 3 of them. And my first COVID was fine. My second COVID was a little bad. But I actually technically, you don't have to do anything. I had to do it for the job I had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And still now.
Well, that's the problem. They forced people to do this stuff. That's another thing the government stuck their fucking nose into. I am going to go ahead and tell you that if you don't get a shot, and look how people were ostracized, like me, who did not want to get the shot or wear these stupid freaking face shields all the time. I wasn't doing it. Okay. It wasn't because I didn't respect people. It's because I didn't believe in the narrative. I didn't believe the bullshit they were shoving down our throat. Tom brought COVID home to us from the hospital.
I'll be honest with you, Dustin. Like, to this day, I regret getting the shots. I really do. I regret getting that shit. I really do.
Yeah.
I see from the inside, not to say where I work and shit like that. We're not going to get, but I work in the hospital systems and shit like that. But like, I really, I hear the stories. I see what's going on with the world and what, with the RNs and the ICUs are actually pushing out there. I regret getting this shit. You know what I mean? Nothing I can do about it now. I got to go on and try to live a healthy life. But yeah, there's a lot of bullshit with it. So if I could do it again, I can't. I would not have gotten the motherfuckers.
I swore from the very beginning that I would not have. I'm kind of an anti-vaxxer to begin with, because I like holistic. I like that. Are you paying attention?
Yeah, no, I'm reading that fucking comment right there.
I'm just more into the holistic approach. I think, our bodies are crazy, incredible structures that were designed to self-heal. And it really depends on the nutrition that we're putting into our bodies. If we're eating good food, if we're eating healthy stuff, and we're actually putting nutritious stuff into our system and not gorging ourselves on hamburgers, cheesesteaks, and lasagna and ribs and everything that I ate down there at the market, you can heal yourself.
You can. I do feel like, you can gorge yourself on a lot of shit as long as you do keep a healthy lifestyle, exercise and shit like that. But you gotta, like, honestly, like, what comes down to, you're exactly right. And you're allowed to cheat. You're allowed to do whatever. I don't know. Like, that's my friend. He's probably fucking hanging out tonight. But if you just exercise and keep a natural routine and just understand your body, I mean, you're the one that lives with your body, right?
That's it.
I mean, you have to understand it. Like,
well, and look, you gave me shit because on July 20th, I'm going in for. Hold on, just for 2 seconds.
I'm serious. You're going to piss me off with this one too. Because
I don't give a shit if it pisses you off. I have a metabolic disorder. All right. And people say that they make excuses. I hate people that make excuses. As people know me, I don't make excuses. This is just the reality. I'll show you my fucking medical card. Okay. I have something called MCAD. It's medium chain acyl CoA dehydrogenase disorder. It's a mouthful. All right. Look it up. MCADD. Okay. I have that. All right. I've struggled with weight issues my entire life, but I am going in to get this gastro sleeve surgery on the 20th. All right. It's because I am that uncomfortable in my own body. I can show you. I'll show you guys. I don't care. All right. You see over there, this is my workout stuff hanging on the door. I got weights down there. I've got more workout stuff. Okay. You can't even see. I lift weights. I don't know if you could tell. I'm not a tiny dude. I exercise, but my body does not burn fat the same way yours does. So I got to a point where it's like, I'm all right. I've got to do something. I am very uncomfortable in my own skin. I saw photographs that people took of me at that event, and I'm like, that's disgusting. I cannot stand being this. It's a deeply personal decision. Now, I've fasted for an entire week one time. I didn't eat a single thing. Actually, it was 5 days that I fasted. Not a single bite to eat. Not a tiny dude. Coming from another well-rounded individual. Hey, I love you, Lee.
Yeah, but I mean, you're saying you see picture yourself and you don't like yourself. I see pictures of me too, and I wish I was fucking bigger, muscular. Like, I get big muscles, I got small muscles, I fluctuate my entire life. I don't
eat
give
protein.
a fuck at this point. I do, dude. I eat protein, but there's no way my body structure will ever get big. My dream was to be a fucking wrestler back in the day. I was never big enough. See, I look at you, bro, and I think you're in good shape. I've always said this. I think you look good. Like no weirdness with that. Like I told you last year, like when I gave you a hug in person, I said, dude, you look fucking great. You're about 5'10", like myself. You fucking strong, structured. You're a fucking solid dude. You're everything that I would want to be. You know what I mean? So, but you're saying you're looking at yourself in pictures. I mean, you got to live with yourself and shit like that. I think in reality, you're your own worst enemy. Like I told you earlier.
Aren't we all?
Exactly. But
I mean, nobody critiques themselves or anybody more than they critique themselves. And that's just the way it is. It's always been that way. At the end of the day, your opinion of me, where I appreciate that you're saying these kind of words, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It goes in one ear and out the other to somebody it's like telling somebody who's bulimic, you got to stop. You're going to die it's a disease essentially. I just am not comfortable in my own skin. My knees hurt from carrying around 300 pounds all the time. I now look, I've been on a liquid diet. I got my wedding ring on because I couldn't for a while, and I'm losing some of the water weight. And look, it actually slides. I just 5 days ago, I couldn't,
yeah. Dude, you just got to do you. I mean, you're going to be happy no matter what. Like you're going to do you. Like I said, you look good now, but I mean, what's going to make you happy is when you fucking look.
You're worried that when I'm 56.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. Actually, I don't like give two shits, to be honest with you. It's like, this is your life. Like, honestly, you're going to survive and shit like that. But like, you're going to have to look at yourself in your own body and shit. Like, I love you the way you are. You know what I mean? Like, you're my boy, you're my brother and shit like that. But
do you know why I wear black shirts? So you can't see my man boobs.
I never actually looked.
This is a problem. Yes, you just did. You just did. You looked right here.
Here, wait. I can't. It's not my screen. I was going to put you on fucking full screen.
No, I'm not going to do that. But
no, but like, dude,
black shirts are slimming.
I give you credit for wanting to, like, you're doing what you want. You know what I mean?
Well, and this is what we have to do. And sexiest man boob. This is coming from a guy who's definitely should be wearing a bra.
It was very was it?
I love Lee. We do this to each other all the time. It is what it is. But now, I mean, look, you've got to live your best life. And if that is, if you're comfortable being 400 pounds, that's on you, man. Like I'm not here to judge you. my religion says you're not supposed to be
Sure.
gluttonous. Gluttony is a bad thing. But we all are. I mean, who doesn't absolutely love to stuff a big fat juicy burger, and delicious fries? I love that stuff.
Yeah, dude.
But if it wasn't made with so much junk, like stuffed with preservatives and these things like that, our food could be a lot healthier. But it's all GMO, and it's all this crap and these chemicals that are put in there. I swear to you, I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist. I am. I don't care. I do think it was intended that way to
I think
keep
so too.
you unhealthy, keep you dependent upon the medical system, spending your money. That's all it really comes down to. It's just life is about harvesting the money from the sheep.
The pharmaceuticals, man, big time. Like, I know nurses in there that actually put their money into the stock of pharmaceuticals. So like, we know it don't work. We just do it. So yeah, dude, I get it. Like the farmers, look at how poor they became within the years because the farmers were no longer fresh foods, right?
Well, they're trying to put farmers out of business.
That's my point.
They're just, that's what I think is happening. Again, it's government wanting to be more in control. I'm sorry. I don't care how you feel about this president. This guy's a piece of shit in my eyes. And we've never been under this much of a dictatorship in our lives, but it's not like it was just, all of a sudden Joe Biden's in office and now we're under a dictatorship. No, this is something that has been, happening as time goes on and on and on. Excuse me. I think Donald Trump made a lot of promises and he kept a lot of promises.
Yeah.
I also think he's a blubbering idiot, but whatever. If you could stay off of Twitter, he might have been a good president. Regardless, the promises get made by these people all the time and they never keep them all.
That's
okay.
exactly right.
Some of these presidents say whatever they think you want to hear to get in that office and live like fat cats. I'm the president of the United States. This is the president of geriatric ward. Okay. Who allows cocaine literally Hunter Biden was seen sniffing cocaine on camera.
Well, I don't know about all that seen sniffing cocaine, but like, I know the cocaine was there, but like he's, honestly, he is, and I don't get into politics, but like, he's one of these fucking people that just time is up, man. Like fucking, no matter who the fuck gets in, it can't be him.
No, it won't be him.
No balls there. There's no fucking balls. There's no nothing. There's just no thought process. And other countries say, how can you talk about your own president like that? In a way, it's like there's no fucking leadership here. There's no leadership.
Zero.
It's all bullshit. Like they're just feeding you a whole bunch of horse shit. I'm sorry, guys. Whoever the fuck is for and who, it's not like that. I'm not siding with nobody. This is just not the president that we need. And maybe it's probably not Trump, probably not nothing, but we need a stronger structure to fucking get our lives back into the range that we need.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Lee doesn't talk much about government, but he's talking about government overreach. Yeah, that is a lot coming from him. But
sure.
Live your best life. Okay,
yeah.
That's it. Live your best life. Guys, I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate you guys all hanging out here with us tonight, man. My first show back in almost a year. I had folks hanging out here all night long with us, and I seriously do appreciate that. Guys, this is every Friday show at 8 p.m. Dom and I are talking about doing our own thing outside of Off the Cuff. And, stay tuned for information like that, guys. Head over to BB3 TV on Facebook, guys, and check us out. Like us and follow us over there. There's a lot of quality entertainment over there. Paranormal Brew, other shows. I don't even know all of them. I've been away for too long. Dom and Tom's World. Great stuff, guys. Go check it out over there. Also, head over to YouTube. Follow us over there, man. It all helps, all right? Everything helps us out. We do sincerely appreciate it. So, guys, thanks for tuning in, man. We'll see you guys next week, all right? Friday, 8 p.m.
Later.
Take care, y'all.